I know, right? Touching elbows almost.
Yeah.
What's going on, everyone? I'm Chris Baker.
And I'm Ty Backer.
Welcome to episode 149 of Behind the Toolbelt with TC Backer Construction.
TC Backer. Roofing, siding, windows, gutters, solar. Roofing, siding, windows, gutters, solar. TC Backer, TC Backer.
Behind the Tool Belt is sponsored by Lead Scout. Find out more at leadscoutapp.com.
TC Backer, TC Backer.
Boom. TC Backer family, what is going on? Hopefully everyone's enjoying their week. We are live again, episode 149. Man, we got some very special guests here from Roofle. We got Mike and Travis. How are you guys doing?
Great.
I'm doing well.
How are you guys?
We're peachy.
Yeah. Other than it's getting cold already and I'm freezing my balls off in this building that we don't have heat in yet. And you guys are down in the sunshine state of Florida. Just a little envious. We're doing great.
I'm in Florida. Mike is in the depths of Minnesota. I get the sunshine at night.
And I'm singing to the choir here then.
Yeah.
Shit. No, I take that back. So, Travis, I'm envious of you. And Mike, I am not so envious.
I'm not so envious.
But we're definitely jacked up. We've been working on things for RoofCon. We got the van loaded up. The guys will be traveling down there with our entire studio. We will be having a realistic replica of the entire studio set up down there. Pretty much, I'd say 90% of our equipment will be there. We got to leave some here, so then when we fly back on Wednesday, we at least have somewhat of a studio left to go live next Wednesday, so we don't miss episode 150.
150,
right? 150 next week. So
150,
right? But I don't want to take the show hostage here, man. So Travis, Mike, which one do you guys want to go first and tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and what's going on and what's happening here in the future?
Yeah. So go ahead, Mike. Introduce yourself and kind of, what you do, and I'll take it from there and kind of talk about the history.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is actually my 30th year in the industry. I started installing in 1992. I'd spent about 18 years as an installer and a company owner. And then I spent 12 years with GAF, and I just started with Roofle a couple of weeks ago. And I'll let Travis take it from there.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm Travis, president and CEO of Roofle. I worked for Harvego Construction for about 12 years prior to that, and then we kind of branched out and started this Roofle. It's been a great journey so far. It's been pretty awesome to learn all the new things of technology and e-commerce coming to the space. But so I'll kind of take you back in time a little bit. So it was about 2.5, 3 years ago is when we started thinking about what's the next thing to happen in the roofing space, and we were like, okay, so what's the evolution look like? So we look at all these different things from hand-drawn measurements to aerial measurements and paper files to CRMs and all these different things going on in the industry. Well, what about the in-person sale? What about e-commerce? And then we looked at car sales. People used to go into the dealership a weekend or days to go look at cars and jump from dealership to dealership. And now they're going to Auto Trader, finding what they want. So there's an evolution happening within the industry as far as e-commerce coming to the space. So we said, well, let's do it. Let's build it. What is it going to take? So over the last 2.5 years, we built all the pieces of technology to go ahead and sell roofs directly to consumers. So we were online selling directly to consumers with our technology all over the country. And we did about $4 million in revenue, over 2.5 years. And we had no office, right? We had no people on the ground in any of these places. And we were just straight selling roofs right there online with the technology that we built. And we were doing, really well with it. And then we hit a certain point to where the contractors came to us and they're like, hey, we need this technology. We want this technology. It's the future. It's like, this is where all the millennials are going to want to go. Everyone's going to want to shop online. Mm-hmm. And we're like, yeah, we started thinking about it. We're like, yeah, most of our customers actually came to us between like 9 and midnight. It's usually when people were doing their shopping online. Wow. And so we're like, okay, so we need to figure out a way to get this technology in the hands of contractors. So we started at the end of April. It was like April 30th was the exact day of us saying, let's build the technology to give it to contractors. And we launched September 1st. So on September 1st, we were able to give contractors this technology where they can put it on their website and they're able to, for now, generate instant quotes is what they can do. But down the road in the next 6 months to a year, we're going to be releasing different parts to where we can get full on e-commerce. So that's kind of like the broad overview as far as, where we came from, where we are, and kind of where we're going.
Awesome, man. That's really awesome.
Yeah, that's a lot. And it happened very quickly too. So where did the idea originate from? Where you guys could not have location set up anywhere and you were just kind of selling roofs all over the place. Like, where did that ingenuity come from?
Yeah, so that was actually there was 5 of us in a room as our leadership team, and we were kind of sitting in the room, and we're like, our company's doing well, it's doing really well, but we want to leave, like a stamp on the industry, right? And we want to be the innovators of the industry. We want to do something that's totally different that nobody's ever done before, ever tried before. So we said, okay, what does that look like? And we're like, we want to be the Amazon of the roofing industry. And like, once we started, we had a couple of contractors that we were working with, like, you guys are the Amazon of the roofing industry. So that label's kind of stuck, but we said, let's take it to online, so let's build technologies, number one, by basically getting them a quote instantly within seconds. From there, they can get their verified quote within minutes. And then within basically 15 to 20 minutes, by the time that they're done shopping, they can get their actual final quote, right there online. And so that was just like us whiteboarding things. And it took us, multiple meetings. It just didn't happen in one night, I promise you that. But we whiteboarded the whole thing out and said, this is the process. Now, it didn't follow the exact process that we thought it was when we first started. But, over the last couple of years, we perfected the process to say, okay, this is what they want. This is how they want everything to be done. So it did take about 2 years really to kind of perfect it, and kind of get the process down. But it all started with just one crazy meeting, one late night with the 5 of us in the room and starting drawing on the whiteboard. And then from there, we started just building things. We started just building technology. And it just kind of kept evolving from there.
That's awesome.
I'd like to,
go ahead.
I'd like to jump in because at that point, that's where I got really captivated by the vision at this point, because people throw that around, the Amazon of the industry. And there are some really big players with some really deep pockets that are trying to be the Amazon of the world. But this is a program created by contractors, created for contractors to become that before the big players even get into the market. So this is actually allowing any roofing contractor in the country to be able to embed this into their website and become, as a group, become the Amazon of the industry before it ever reaches that part. And that's where I got sucked in, and I got to be a part of this.
Yeah. So dig in there a little deeper. So for those of us that may not know exactly what Roofle is, when you talk about bolting it onto your website, like what am I bolting on and why am I bolting it onto my website?
Yeah. Can you kind of explain, like, if I'm a consumer that I'm looking for a roof, how, like, what's the process of shopping for the roof and up until the point of actually getting the new roof installed? Like, what does that look like with you guys?
Yeah, so there's kind of 2 different parts there, right? So we have the parent company, that we use, which was called Roofle, and that was the company we used to actually sell roofs directly to consumers. The product that we have now is Roof Quote Pro. So that's the product that we've created for contractors. That's the
Mhm.
product that they can buy. So they're not actually bolting on like our website to them. We've actually built like a widget that we actually have where we take the technology, embed it onto their website. So really
Mhm.
what happens is we develop scripts that we have to where we embed those scripts onto your website. And then from there is where the consumer can then come to the website. But it's not only just a widget. We also have different ways where we can embed it on landing pages where you can drive traffic to it. And then the customer actually lands on that page where then they can enter their address and actually start that process from
Gotcha.
there. And I mean, if everyone wants to look and see as far as, what's to come kind of down the road that we're going to be releasing, you can go to roofle.com and kind of go through the process and kind of go see how that looks to get, kind of that start to finish, kind of look to it. Like I said, right now, we just released the first piece, which was on September. And we're working towards, like I said, like middle to end of next year by releasing all the pieces that are available. But again, it's installed onto their website. It's their own thing. We don't have our name on it whatsoever. Everything is completely white labeled to where it's their logos, their colors, their text, their fonts, everything that they put in themselves. They're setting their own prices. So they're entering their products and their prices into the database that they want to use. We have over 800, but if they have others, they can create their own as well. So it's fully customizable to the contractor itself. So when their customer comes to their website, then they're actually shopping on their website for the products that they offer at their prices.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So if I understand this correctly, and I know I asked you this question down in Dallas, but again, we have a lot of viewers in here watching right now, just so they understand fully. So basically they can go to our website, consumer can go to our website, plug in their address and they can get an instant quote from our website.
Correct. Yeah. So, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, right? They're looking for a contractor. They're browsing different websites. They're trying to find a contractor. They land on, XYZ roofing. And they're like, oh, what's this? Get an instant quote. I've never seen this before. This is weird. They open it up. They enter their address. And then boom, their house comes up. There's an image of their house. There's an outline. There's a shape. They can edit the shape. They can add shapes if they want to. But they're basically, drawing out the structure of the roof if they would like. And then from there, they're submitting their information. So at that point, the contractor has now gathered that consumer's information, which then becomes a lead. And then once they submit that, then it opens up like the library as far as like them seeing prices from that contractor themselves. So it's like they can show 8 different products that they can show with 8 different prices, but it's all, like I said, specialized to that contractor and themselves.
That's fantastic.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And you explained it very well in layman's terms. Vic, we lost our monitor here. But you've definitely explained that in layman's terms. So Mike, where do you fit in this? Because I know you had a pretty significant role with GAF. So where do you fit in at?
Yeah. So I'm hoping to be able to use some of the contacts that I have and the history that I have in not just helping to develop some of the back end things that people don't always look at or listen to. And then also, as a VP of revenue, I just want to be the push to make sure everybody knows about this, how it works and how it can work for them. Ultimately, we want to see contractors be really successful targeting a market segment of buyers that is currently not being targeted at all, which is the online shopper.
Yeah, I think the big thing, about Mike, and he might be downplaying himself a little bit there, but it's all about spreading the word at this point, right? So right now we are looking at just launching this product. We took a few months, we have a couple hundred customers already, or hundreds of customers already, that are using it. But we took those months to make sure we perfected our product, made it very, very, perfect. So it fits a lot of different things. And then now we're ready to really, really launch it. So we said, okay, we got to spread the word, right? So we went out and found the best guy in the business, Mike Goldenstein, to go out there and help us spread the word, right? It's all about educating the contractors and educating the consumers is really what it's about, because this thing, blows up and this thing, goes crazy when more people know about it and they know how to use it. And also the consumers start knowing about it as well. So really it's all about, spreading the word about it and educating everybody as far as how to use it. And we're not saying it's going to replace the industry completely. That's not what we're saying. Right. We're just saying like, we're trying to capture the people that would rather do this than any other way. And the ones that do, get on board early and are able to adopt this and get this going, they're going to catch a lot more market share early on than others will.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got probably a little different question. I know a lot of SaaS companies, they target, the roofer as a consumer. So it's like a B2B, but are you guys going to like target your product to like manufacturers and distributors So then they can offer it to like Mike, I'm sure is aware of, like Master Elite Contractor. So is that going to be something available for us Master Elite contractors at like a discounted rate, or are you guys just strictly going towards the roofing consumer or roofer, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, we're open to looking at everything, because I think, a lot of traffic. Again, if we keep thinking about different parallels, if I have a certain brand of vehicle that I like, or any manufacturer of roofing products wants to have traffic come to their site and be able to take and direct those leads directly to their certified master lead or preferred or platinum contractors. So there is a lead generation source, generated by this product. But again, what we're trying to do is keep everything on their website. So whether it's the manufacturer, or really on our passion is with the contractor, let's keep that web traffic on the contractor's website, so they're not jumping around at every place else, and that you can continue to watch those leads as they mature through your own system, rather than jumping them around and suddenly you lose track of where that went, or what ended up happening with the sales process. So our passion is for the contractors, and we're going to try to get them engaged in whatever ways possible. If it's with the help of distribution and manufacturer, absolutely, we'd love to work with that and have that conversation as well.
Can I ask a personal question, Mike?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to ask you anyhow. It didn't matter.
Right. What if I say no?
So do you think you blew it for Roofle getting in bed with GAF?
Oh, I hope not. GAF was a fantastic. I had a great career, no regrets there. And I hope that if anything, it helps, everybody involved, with the level of experience and knowledge that I gained through my career at a manufacturing level. I hope it just helps.
Yeah.
One thing that I've learned about GAF and the time that, I've spent at TC Backer, because we're big time GAF guys over here, up in this area, it's a big time GAF area. GAF loves technology, man. GAF loves to try to stay ahead of the curve and figure out, what's the next greatest thing. Cause I mean, they're beasts in the industry, man. And that's something that you got to constantly train. You got to constantly keep after, because you can't get complacent. And I feel like GAF is one of those big brands that they don't really get complacent.
Yeah, for sure. And as long as ego and pride doesn't get in the way of either one of you, I guess it'll be fine. And the thing is, especially with technology and the way that the industry is right now, I believe that there wouldn't be a conflict of interest, because there are so many roofing contractors that are coming out with their own technology, whether it be RoofScope. RoofScope is a great aerial measurement tool that is developed by a roofing contractor for roofing contractors. And I think, I don't think anybody's really concerned about like that conflict of interest. I don't give two shits if that roofing contractor that owns RoofScope knows what location I'm pulling those aerials from. I think the space is so larger than we actually think it is. It's all 50 states, right? So for it to be a conflict of interest of, us here in Pennsylvania for a roofing contractor out of Florida, I mean, there's so many of us, and I don't think anyone's really got time to go back behind the scenes and find out where TC Backers, pulling their roofing aerials from.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think unless they're, and like Chris said, and Mike, that GAF is the oldest roofing manufacturer in the country. I mean, they think beyond that. They're not that small-minded thinking. And I was just curious, really more so. I knew you had a long career with GAF, and not that you've downgraded, but what's the catch, bro? Like, is like GAF back in Roofle? Like, give us the dirt on that shit, bro. That's a huge, like, there's something there, man.
Drop
Travis,
the bomb here.
Hold on.
That question.
But before we get really deep, and I'm going to let Mike answer that question, and maybe he has to think about how he's going to answer this question, right? But real quick, let me just back up to the last question.
Go ahead.
Asked.
Yes.
And so the main thing is like, as far as giving this to contractors or manufacturers or suppliers, right? So this tool was built by contractors for contractors, right? That was what we had in mind when we built this thing. So we want to make this thing as affordable as possible to contractors so that they can actually get it on their website. And now to give you a little piece, I mean, there's large companies out here already doing this. I mean, if you don't think Angie Roofing or Angie is not already doing this, they already are. Like
Right.
they are selling roofs directly online already. So it's like we have to get on board before the Angies of the world, basically try to take over. And so we built the technology so that we can get it in the hands of contractors so that they can get it. It's affordable. They don't have to spend millions of dollars to be able to build the technology. We're just getting it right into their hands. Now, with that being said, personally, I don't think Mike coming on board has affected anything as far as any sort of possible relationship with GAF, but I will say that we have had some conversations with manufacturers and suppliers. We of course, I mean, our word is out there, right? Our name is now spreading. People are now aware of, what's going on. So of course they're going to reach out to us and have those types of conversations. So with that being said, Mike, I gave you some time to think about your question, and now we're digging deep. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it's one of those things where, again, I like I said, I have no regrets. I had a great career and really enjoyed my time at JF. This was something that, oh man, do you really want to know the history? I mean, when I first met Joe Hoffman and the guys over at Hoffman Weber, they were big OC guys and Platinum, and I think he was on the contractor advisory council there. And as our friendship grew and I started to understand a little bit of the culture of the company that he was creating, and really became more than just business associates. We became good friends. And when I saw the vision of what Roofle could become, and having the ability to really, and I'm not going to underplay this at all, truly revolutionize an entire industry in one shot, in probably 18 months. I mean, I maybe a year. I think the opportunity that I saw for what this could do for our industry made it a no-brainer. And I absolutely love the people that I get to work with now, and some of the stuff that I get to do. It's been a whirlwind. It's only been about a month or whatever, 3 weeks, but it's been so much fun, and I believe in everything that it's been cracked up to be. So.
Okay. Well, you still didn't answer the question.
I know he's dodging, man. He's dodging.
Yeah. We're waiting. We will make that uncomfortable silence.
We waiting for that bomb to drop, man. The viewers want to hear it. Want to hear it.
No, we won't pick on you too bad. You guys seem.
What's up, Dan? What's going on, Jen? We got a lot of people in here. Let's do a couple shout outs here real quick. We got a lot of TC Backer family members in here. Chet Hayfley, Daniel Barker, what's going on? Tim Brown's up in here.
TJ McCormick is
Hook
in
Agency,
here.
sponsor of Behind the Tool Belt here, man. We appreciate you guys. TJ McCormick. We got Troy Anderson. Troy Anderson actually said that he's gonna try this stuff out. I know he's doing big things. That's the roof, man.
Yeah, it is.
We appreciate you constantly watching, man. We see you in here. Michael Hall's in here. John Stauffer, Brittany Butler. What's up, babe? Javier's here watching from behind the scenes here. He's a live studio audience guest right here. Zach Fisher, as always, man. Jana, all kinds of people, man. Jamie Bloom, all kinds of people in here. So I love it, man. I love the technology.
Me too.
I'm really curious to see, like you said, Mike, I mean, this could be revolutionary, especially with the ability to, the widget to add it to a contractor's website. Because dude, you're right, man. Millennials are the buyers right now. And dude, they like easy, if they can avoid having, someone come out and knock their door or having any kind of uncomfortable confrontational conversations with people, that, roofing apparently gets the bad name about. But my big question is, okay, so we're all about education as well. Like, you guys seem to really be preaching the education thing. At what point, so I guess this depends on the contractor, but at what point does a person physically get out there to a job to, number one, find out why this homeowner needs a new roof? Is there any point that a company, like, let's just say TC Backer puts this widget in, is this just developing a lead, or are they just strictly going through the entire buying process right then and there, and you just go out and install a roof on somebody's house? Like, explain that for me real quick.
Yeah. So right now, everything right now is all about generating a lead. That's really what the technology is designed to do currently right now in its current state. So it's generating a lead. At that point, then you're having a conversation with that homeowner, setting an appointment, coming out there, finalizing the deal. But, like we said, over the next, few months or so, we move down that path towards that e-commerce route where they actually are getting their quote before you come out. And the biggest thing is that we've met with some really cool people over the last couple of months, and people that have some pretty amazing things that can get us some pretty cool technology. Like, for instance, when you talk about insurance claims, the technology is there to where when that person submits their information and that contractor gets that lead that comes in, we can get possible, shingle types that are on there, or like, things as far as like, hail reports on there, to be like, homeowner, like I come out, like you've had 6 hailstorms on this roof that's 10 years old, just different technologies now that are available. Drones, there's companies that are coming out with drones to where they're remote drones that you can send out, and the customer can actually order a drone just to come out and do an inspection, and then it goes back to the contractor. There's so many things out there that with right now in our space in roofing that are going to evolve so quickly that it's going to look much different in 2 to 3 years from now, with all the technologies that could potentially be released, by the time we get to e-commerce, down that road to where you're not actually physically going to the house before they buy that roof. But in its present state, it's designed as far as like to generate leads right now, get conversions on your website, and be able to get that lead that comes in, have a conversation with the homeowner, set an appointment, go out there. Some of our contractors are selling them in-house. Some of them, if they're easy up and over walkers, there's really not much there. They actually have an in-house sales staff. They're just selling them right there over Zoom or over the phone right there in their office, having those conversations. So it really depends on the contractor themselves as far as what they want to do with it. But over the next 6 to 8 months or a year, it's going to be pretty exciting as we, unveil some of these cool integrations that we're working on right now that will get us down that path towards. They start with entering their address. They then go down to picking their products. They're then, getting their measurements. They're then getting contracts from that contractor to where they're actually e-signing those contracts right then and there, to where you're not actually ever even going to that house. Now, everyone always says, what about, some things that are outliers, such as, multiple layers or decking, right? Those are really the 2 things by the time that we release this technology are really the 2 things that are always the unknown. And everything else, the technology is there to pick up everything. It's there. I don't care. Chimneys, skylights, counts, vents, whatever it is, it's there to be able to get it. But those are things that we don't know anyways, right? Typically, if we go tear off a roof, most times we don't know if the decking's bad or not until we actually tear it off, or even layers. Like the previous installer installed drip edge over the previous layer, and surprise, surprise, there's something in there. So in there, simply in our, in those contracts, there would be protections against obviously those things. But to answer your question, right now it is lead generation, but the path is laid out for full-on e-commerce.
Yeah, and I like that.
I like it too.
I like exactly how you said that. So going back to a little bit in your conversation there, and some of our conversation before we went live, you had mentioned something about like the evolution of our industry. So where do you see our industry in the next 3 to 5 years, especially with all this new technology, or if we don't have or get the technology?
Yeah. So I truly think in the next 3 to 5 years, and I'm saying probably 50% of roofing sales will be made online, 50% in some sort of way, that they will actually be handled online. And that comes down to, like I said, the technology being available between the drones and the other technology that's available as far as the consumer not actually needing somebody before making that purchase on there. I truly believe, right around 50%. The in-house sale will never go away. There's always going to be people that want somebody to come out, and that is what it is, and we know that, and that's fine, because there's still people who choose to go to the grocery store. There's still people that choose to go to Best Buy over going to Amazon. Like, there's people that make those choices still to go to the store, and again, we're here to basically adjust to the consumer that is now coming up. I mean, most people here on this probably have kids or teenagers, right? And those millennials, or whatever the new generation is, what is it, Z or something along those lines? But they're on their phones constantly, and the human interaction, just isn't really there. So we're basically adapting now to basically to adjust for those people that are still going to start to be homeowners, and give them the convenience of being able to buy online. Not only that, back in the 80s, usually only one parent worked and the other person stayed home most of the time. Well, now most parents work. They don't have the time, to meet with 5 contractors for 2 hours a piece to come into their home. So they need the convenience of being able to go online and be able to find their products and shop their products online. So, that's truly where I see the industry going. As far as there's some interesting things as far as how much of those sales are going to be by manufacturers or distributors or by contractors or by, lead service providers. That still remains to be seen. I think it's kind of it's a race at this point. I truly believe it's a race. It's if the contractors can get on board and kind of hold their ground and kind of stand as far as like, we are the contractors, we're not going away, we're not going to be glorified, labor houses to whoever else it may be. I think we keep most of that share, and we fight back against some of these giants that are out there, basically trying to gather the whole customer experience all the way through. So, and that's why we're here, and that's what we truly believe is to keep the power of the contractors, because the contractors have a legacy, right? The contractors have built their companies. They've all stand behind, what they are and what their brand stands for. And that's what we're here for. We want them to stick around. We're on their side. So,
and a lot of things that Travis was just talking about has a lot of implications on the retail side of it. I'm kind of cut my teeth in the storm restoration and just some of the evolutions that have already happening, continually. That's one of the things that's so fascinating about storm restoration is that it continually reinvents itself. And what we're seeing in Florida, for example, the name of the game right now is giving estimates as quickly as possible. And so a lot of the contractors that are signing up with us out of Florida are being able to channel all of their leads through our software and then just lining them up and being able to pre-vet them. And we're going to see different aspects of that happen, whether it's hail or wind or hurricane around the country. We didn't see that necessarily coming into this, but it's quickly become a byproduct. But then you start talking about some of the other evolutions, whether it's MRPs or like Travis was saying, more manufacturers and distribution getting into that and trying to figure out how to leverage, how to get, whether they're trying to funnel it to contractors or, God forbid, they turn contractors into labor houses. You don't know. But what we do know is being able to embrace technology and take advantage of it with every contractor. It's going to be able to help contractors be flexible enough to look far enough ahead to adapt before some of that stuff takes over the industry in a bad way.
Yeah. And I like this conversation because, I was just sitting here thinking, Travis, you said something earlier, and I think it was before we were live, but I don't think you got to finish, but it made me think of, the car industry, the evolution of the car industry and Carvana, right? Like you can just go online and choose which car you want, what color you want, and how many miles in your price range. And the next thing you know, they'll drop it off. Or how about if you're trying to sell your car? I don't know the name of that company, but they'll come and pick your car up and buy it from you. So now you don't even have to go to a car dealership. So this is what this kind of reminds me of a little bit, like keeping up with the times. And so many times I hear people say like the roofing industry is so far behind in technology. But honestly, I would say realistically, if you think about over the past 24 months, there's been so much that has happened, like whether it be Lead Scout, Roofle, Roofar, there's always been the giants like Eagle View and guys like that was our technology. That was, Hover. Hover's been around for quite a few years. And that was like the extent of our technology. But now there's so much more stuff. And I think it's coming so hard and so fast that I think we're going to over exceed, the car industry, the Amazons, or be right there on the same level as Amazon, because let's face it, Amazon started out as a bookstore.
Yeah.
Right now, look at it. There's nothing you can't buy, whether it be books or propane lines. I just bought a bunch of like
everything.
Yeah, anything and everything. And I think, with Roofle and the Roof Quote Pro, that's right up there that you guys, and like we were talking earlier, like the whole point of this podcast is to be entertaining, educational, and to help and support our industry, right? Like we want to leave this place better than the way we found it. And I really believe that Roofle is a part of that piece of that puzzle to leave and impact our industry and take it to a whole nother level of technology and competitiveness, because we all know competitive, having competition only makes that person better. And I say it all the time. And I'm going to kind of, I'm going to use this as an example. I'm going to throw Hover under the bus. Okay. Hover's been around for a while. And I said it a couple different times to a couple different people. I'm like, Hover doesn't have any competition. And they're like, what are you talking about? They have Eagle View, they have Roofscope, they have all these companies. I'm like, it's not the same thing. It's totally two separate platforms. Okay. Hover, you have to go out to somebody's house, right? You can't sit at your computer desk and shoot off an eagle view real quick and get it back in the next 30 minutes. You literally have to go out to somebody's house with Hover, right? Walk around the house, take 8 photos, wait an hour, whatever, it comes back. Okay. So it's different, 2 separate platforms, just so everybody knows. So they don't have any competition, and everything right now to them is okay. And whatever they feel that they need to improve upon, they can get to later. Why that is because they don't have anybody knocking on their fucking door saying, hey, we're coming at you. This is what we can do. We can actually put shutters on the house in your 3D image if it didn't come with shutters. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Like, why can I not put shutters on this house to show somebody what their house would look like with shutters? You can only do that if the house already has shutters on it. You can't build a front porch on it. Right? Like, what if they want to see a front porch? Now I got to get an architect involved. I got to get someone that knows AutoCAD. I got to get all of these people. But if they could improve their technology, and why it's okay. That's the difference between being okay and great. And not that it's not a great tool, but it just, I see things like that as an entrepreneur, as an innovator, as a visionary. Like, Hover needs competition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not to get off topic, but you guys there right now, you guys are the pioneers of the roofing becoming the next Amazon, right? I liked what somebody said earlier. Like, if we don't jump on board with this thing, contractors don't jump on there, we're going to get left behind, especially if we're competing against all of these roll-ups, all of these franchises, Angie's, and all of these other people that will probably scoop up technology like this to make it easier for the consumer. And if it is 50% of the consumers that are using things like this, then we're missing 50% of the crowd. Then we're only going to get 50% of the leads because we're only doing it the traditional way. And that's either door knocking or waiting for them to call us. Right. So we can go out there and sell them a roof. But I love what you guys are doing. And that's why I wanted you to come back on, Travis, when I talked to you in Dallas, and also want you to be on the show Monday or Tuesday at RoofCon, because I know what you're trying to do. I see what you're trying to do, and I'm digging what you're doing. And I really see this being an improvement and having a very positive impact. It's actually giving me goosebumps right now on the roofing industry. So kudos to both you. Mike, you made a great decision. You saw the vision. I'm sure you saw the vision. I'm sure you bought in. Somebody was a good storyteller. And you bought it, bro. You bought it. So and that's cool. And I'm sure there's other things else. There's something there that, like, some dude just doesn't give up a life fucking long career at GAF, the largest, oldest shingle manufacturer in the freaking country, and not taking anything away from Roofle. So what is it? Just tell us what happened.
Ty, I feel like you don't believe in us that much. Like, you don't think that we're that great.
Awesome life. Like, what happened? Like, what happened?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a different speed, and I'll be honest, I'll put it on my own shoulders that, I had a vision of what my strengths were and what I like to do and how it fit. And at the end of the day, those fit with Roofle much better than GAF, and we parted ways amicably. And like, again, I hope they feel the same way with me as I do with them, that, all's good and onward and upward.
I'm just busting your balls, dude. I'll let it go.
I appreciate it, though.
Yeah. Hey, we had a great question here. Do you guys integrate with CRMs or double as one with the leads that are generated, etc.? So, like, do you guys is you guys' platform, will it just plug right into any CRMs? Like, do you have an open API? That's called what, an open API?
So,
are you guys working on that?
Yeah, great question. So yeah, as you know, like, we're just launching, right? And we're just starting to take off. We've had a lot of conversations with different, CRMs out there as far as talking about integration. All those things take a little bit of time, such as integration. Right. So in the meantime, we just launched actually today, a couple of new features that we launched for everybody, but one of them being webhooks. So we do have webhooks available. So you can basically take the JSON files and push them over to your CRM, so that there is capabilities right now to be able to push those over to your CRM. So that is there. But yes, we are in talks with different CRMs about, setting up those direct integrations to basically just get those things seamlessly set up. So yeah, that is something to come here in the near future. But again, we've only been going for couple months now. I think
Yeah,
since September. So only a few months in, I think, 2 months in so far. So we're working on all those things. Our tech people are great. Developers are great, and like I said, it's built by contractors for contractors. So we listen to our customers and we listen to their feedback as far as the things they want. And we, go to work as far as building those things. So the answer is yes. I mean, we can push over the leads into your CRM currently, and then like I said, soon we will be able to get those direct integrations, worked out with those CRMs as well.
awesome.
Yeah, good stuff.
Awesome.
Good stuff. Okay, so let's let's ask some personal questions. Nothing too personal about like why Mike lost his job at JF or anything, but
right. Let's go back to that.
No. Travis, so you started to work for Huffman, like you were hired as a salesman. Give us the story about that a little bit.
Yeah, so initially started as a door knocker, a canvasser, right? So back in the day, started as a canvasser, knocking doors, setting appointments, and did that for a little bit. Was pretty successful at doing so. Then kind of moved up to being an in-home sales rep from there, and then kind of evolved into being a sales manager, and then kind of went over to the production side as one of those guys who was like, well, maybe sales isn't the greatest thing, but let's go try out the production side. The old grass is greener over here. Kind of over the production side, did some project management, production management, and then ultimately became general manager and oversee division of Harvego construction. And then once I had this opportunity to basically head up the Roofle side of it, I was all about it. I took the first opportunity I could to say, hey, I'll go over and to the Roofle side and head up that side and make this thing explode. So my background's a little different. I've been with the same company for 12 years, which technically still kind of is the same company, but same owner at least for the last 12 years. So I think it's kind of a different, than a lot of the industries, to where a lot of people I know they kind of jump around and move different companies, things like that. But yeah, I mean, the thing about the companies that they really have great processes. They have great things set out for their employees, so that there is growth within their company, so the employees can see like, hey, from the next step is here, I can move up to kind of the next levels, and and they just they definitely take care of their employees. So just kind of have stuck around, and then like we bring in great guys like Mike who want to join our team because our team's great. We have a really good team over here at Roofle. So yeah, that's kind of my backstory as far as
yeah, good stuff there. So do you come from like what's your education like? So did you go to school for business management? Do you have a tech background?
No, so I went to school. I went to
Okay.
school for construction management and graduated in 2009. Well, everyone knows the economy back in 2009 was not great for construction. So at that point, was just looking around for different, jobs or opportunities, and just kind of took a chance on a canvassing / sales position. It was like, hey, let's see what this is all about, and learned that I was pretty good at talking to people, and I was pretty good at having a good conversation, and people kind of believed in what I had to say, and whether people think it's true or not, but I was pretty good at what I did, and kind of just stayed in kind of the same realm. So yeah, I do have a construction background, but little different than most people, because as some of my friends went right into commercial construction with some large commercial construction people and whatever it may be. But yeah, my background's always been in construction.
Yeah,
no tech.
So, yeah,
I'm learning quick. I'm drinking from a fire hose.
I'm sure.
Like Mike is now talking to all the tech guys. It's been great.
Right. And it's one of those things. Obviously, you're a loyal guy and you have great leadership skills. So obviously you've excelled within that company, and you obviously have a lot of respect for Joe and those guys like that, or else you wouldn't stick around. And obviously Joe has a lot of respect for you too. But what has helped you along the way over the years of you to excel within the company? Because it sounds like you've been pretty successful and you've been promoted several different times, and now you're in the position that you're in right now. Like, do you read books? Have you furthered your education? Like, what do you do to stay on top of your game so people want to work with you? I guess I don't want to say for you or anything like that, because obviously you're a leader and you have a great team around you. So why do people want to do that, and what do you do to maintain that status, I guess?
Yeah, I'm not really a book reader. I listen to a lot of them on tape. I am flying all around on the country, so I listen to a lot of different ones, and I've listened to all the Grant Cardone and different sales things like that. And I do go to a lot of different like leadership, classes and things like that, different educational things that I go there and pull different things away from. And then, obviously, personal growth as well, trying to be the best person every day, each and every day, try to be a better person. So I think it's a lot of different things, that I do, just really taking away different pieces from people that are knowledgeable on different things. Like, even on Facebook, people post different stuff about, different, classes or just different trainings they're putting on, or, just different things like that you go to and you take little bits away from different things and kind of apply them towards, your everyday life and, your management skills. So I wouldn't say it's really, one thing. It's just kind of bits and pieces, especially right now with everything that we have going on. I wish I could do a lot more of it at this point, but hopefully with bringing on Mike, I can get a little more free time to start getting back into, more of those things to, really start working on, more of those areas for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So one more question for you, and then we'll pick on Mike some more.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, dude. I'm not though, but I am. So who's been your biggest influence, I guess, Travis?
Throughout this process or throughout my career?
I know like one of my favorite books that I've listened to or read, the author is Simon Sinek, so was Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
Like was it him? Was it something like who or what was it bad?
I really like, Grant's stuff. I really do. I think he talks about a lot of different aspects of things. I mean, not just sales, but other things as well. And I think there's some real estate things out there, just kind of, personal growth stuff that he offers that, you can listen to as well. But also, even just my other managers as well that I've worked with have been great. And not only that they're personal friends, but they're also very, very smart people. And even Joe himself, so I think it's not just one person I can say. I think it's kind of a whole class of people, that I've really looked to and have always been there for me and I can look up to, and, I go to bounce different things off them and they can give me a real opinion back on things and kind of have their feedback. So I think it's not just really one person, but, again, I do really enjoy, a lot of Grant stuff as far as, that aspect of it. But just really my peers, my other managers that I've worked with over the years. Because our leadership teams have been together for 9 years. So you're talking about a company that has leaders in place for 9+ years, which is almost incredible to have, and those people, with their own personal growth that they've went through, or, growth within their own areas of the business themselves. Like we work with some really good people that are highly educated people and are really, really smart people that, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but when I don't know something, I'm going to go to somebody else that's really smart in that area and kind of bounce it off them and, kind of really take that in and, take notes, right. And take down everything that they have to say and then kind of analyze it and, kind of go from there. So.
Great answer.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Seems like you're remaining teachable.
Yeah, for real.
Very.
You don't have to be the smartest guy in the room. You just got to have to surround yourself around smarter people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just have to know how to be a good leader, even though that word's being used entirely too much. I don't know. I'm kind of getting tired of the word leader.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's always what Joe's lived by. He's always wanted to hire or bring people in that are smarter than him. Right.
Yes.
Like I want to surround people that are smarter than me.
Yes.
That's
exactly. I'm the dumbest guy in the room right now. Yes.
So I've been blessed to have some pretty amazing people. Now I got Mike on the team, so I'm going to start bouncing some things off him because I'm sure he's got some really good things, So like I said, I've been pretty blessed and I'm very teachable. I like education. I love learning new things, adapting to new things, which is why I came over the tech side. Some of the people were, like, yeah, it's tech, I'm not sure. But for me, I was like, I'm all about it. I want to learn more about it. I want to learn more about where this, this business is going. And so, yeah, love getting educated.
Cool.
It is kind of funny to be a roofer suddenly in software development. I'm in these rooms and my head's just spinning and I'm trying the best to pretend like I know what's going on. I mean, if you want to ask me about, what IRC 106.1.3 is, I'll tell you all about it. Let's go into it, and I cut my teeth in a lot of the codes and regulations and installation and all that kind of stuff. And man, I get in some of these rooms and I'm like, I mean, Travis, seriously, like your background is started as a door knocker and now we're talking about webhooks. I don't even know what a webhook is. I mean, it's so much fun to be branching out into an area that, you watch people and you just marvel at how much they know and how deep their connections and their level of understanding and how specialized that can get so quickly. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is cool. You're right. Everything that is very cool. So, Mike, I mean, you may have mentioned it a little bit, but let's dig a little deeper. Like, what is your role going to be with the Huffman Group or Roof Quote Pro and the whole Roofle thing? Like, what is going to be your strength? What are you bringing to the table, I guess?
Yeah. So my title is VP of Revenue, and literally that is what I'm doing is creating revenue streams for the company through whatever current connections that I have, and creating new connections with other people, and even looking through, like one of the new things that is just being rolled out is these blank cards, that you can put whatever you want on them. Well, I'm going to try to find, I know a lot of people that are doing roof cleaning or roof revitalizing. You can use our tool to do things that are kind of like roofing, but not really. You can do it for tarping. You can do it for repairs. My job is to be a connector, whether it's NRCA, you name it, any of the other organizations, the groups, the people. I'm going to bring them all in and do what I can to show them what this can do and how it can help them as a company or as an organization.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you go ahead, Travis.
Yeah. So, but thanks for bringing that up, Mike, because it's not only just roofing, right? So with our big release we just released today with blank product cards, or basically build your own product card, it's beyond just roofing now. So then, we're talking about people that do coatings. We're talking about people that do pressure washing, that do tarping, that do repairs. It's not just roof replacement. So this thing has, again, this quickly evolved into something much bigger than just straight on, asphalt roof replacements or other type of roof replacements. There's so many other areas now that, because the roofing industry, is like, who would have thought that someone can make a business making millions of dollars of putting coatings on roofs or spraying some sort of, coat on a roof? And it's a thing now people are doing, or detaching, resetting tiles, and redoing the underlay. Like, there's so many different parts of this industry that, like, when I first came into this, was like, it's roofing replacement. That's pretty much what we did, in insurance. But now there's so many things out there in the roofing world that there's so much to be done, that we're not just gathering just for that one customer. We have now expanded into multiple different areas of roofing.
Yeah, people
roofing companies can they can do right now. They can put a product card in there for insulation, and they can add that as an add-on to what they're ordinarily doing, and just work with an insulation company in their community, team up with them, help them figure out what the estimates need to be. You can do an instant quote for insulation in the attic.
Yep.
Wow, that's good stuff.
Yep.
So getting back to the revenue portion of what it is that you do, when you say revenue, is it more like a customer relationship thing, or is it more of like an investor, like you're the guy that, or both, a little bit of both? So explain to us more what the revenue part of your title means.
Yeah, you know what? This is the coolest part. And I think this might be my favorite part of the entire job. When I ask Joe a question, hey, can I do blank? It's always, yeah. What do you need? Like, I have a complete blank slate in front of me. I can do whatever I want. And I haven't had a no yet. And one of the things that Joe says, I'll tell you when to quit asking questions, because you already know you're going to get a yes. And so, yeah, whatever that's going to be, and whatever I can dream up, typically becomes an idea, and then I'll take it to Travis or Matthew or Joe or Brad or somebody, and it's done. It's like, whoa, how did that just happen? I mean, it's really, really cool to have a blank slate, and where I'm just a creator. I get to do these ideas and then throw them out there and watch them go. And there's so many different aspects of our industry that can be helped right now. And I get to be the guy that dream them up and make them work.
Okay.
We kind of call him the gopher, I guess, now, because if he goes out there and I say, if it can make us $1, go after it and bring it back to us, and we'll see if we can do something with it. So he's kind of like the guy to go out there, grab it, and say, here's what we got, whether it be supplier, manufacturer, contractors, maybe even investors, whoever it may be, as far as opportunity out there with the connections that he has and his industry experience in here. I mean that's really a big piece of it. It's like, go out there, do whatever you got to do, go out there and bring it in.
Love it.
Yeah, that's good stuff,
man. Yeah, man, that's good stuff, Mike. I'm happy for you. Congratulations on your new position. I was honestly busting your balls earlier, man. It's just trying to get, cover that entertaining portion of our show there.
Well, some people have a filter and you don't. I understand. I get it.
Yes.
Honestly, what it is we got to make sure that the first, between 5 and 15 minutes of the show is entertaining and grasps people, because that's the most important part. So people like controversy, bro.
Nice.
They
Yeah.
love it.
That's the drama. We should start a drama. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
Everyone's probably still on the show wondering if Mike's actually going to answer the question. They're still hanging on
yeah,
to the show. Like,
right.
I was
Yes,
like,
they're still-
Mike might
yes.
actually spill the beans on this.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Dude,
it is the
should've
greatest
said
thing
is-
though. We are part of one of the greatest industries in the world because it is so dramatic. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, we
Oh my
have
God, it's so
the
dramatic.
biggest share of drama queens in any industry, I think, by far.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So next time, Mike, what you got to do is say, guess I will drop the bomb at 59 minutes and 50
I
seconds.
think it's
There we go.
You know what I mean? That's what you got to do for the replay, because then they'll watch the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
The
That's
full
right.
story of everything that happens.
Right.
No, good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Good partnership, good company.
Yeah.
You know, you guys, I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with it here in the next couple months. And I can't even imagine once you get another 12 months under your belt with all the momentum that you guys have and the group of people, you know, and I get going back to surrounding yourself around smart people. And Mike, you're definitely one of the smartest guys in our industry. And kudos to the whole Roofle and Huffman team over there for being able to poach you, because that was a big, huge win. That's a huge score. You know, so that's just telling me where you guys are going and the dream that he bought into. And that's just, you know, that's,
Yeah, it's cool.
yeah, man.
And dude, I can tell the excitement that you have, Mike. You know what I mean? Like you can tell that you have, you know, this new thing that you get to wake up and do every day. And you know how you mentioned one of your favorite things of the job is the clean slate. You know, GAF's a big corporate company. You know what I mean? Very rarely are you probably able to go in with an idea and tomorrow you can start working on that shit. So like that's huge, man. And I can just tell the excitement and probably the fun and energy that you have waking up and getting to do this every day, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no joke. It's as much as I loved it at GAF, it is a completely different feeling to wake up and go, man, you know, this is what I get to work on today, because it's completely outside the box.
Right. That's awesome.
And then from our perspective, we felt like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you know, 2 years ago when they landed Tom Brady. And no offense to Mike as far as using him as like the old goat that we're getting, but you know, it was like, you know, 2 years ago, we're like, what? Because I got a call like, I think Mike's coming on. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Mike's coming on? So I feel like maybe I was the Bucks like, wait, Brady's coming here? So it was something similar.
I like the analogy, man. Messi, GAF divorce, Tom Brady, Giselle. You know what I mean?
Oh, we're going down that road.
Great.
All right.
Yeah, no, I didn't instigate that one. So, no, good stuff, man. This has been a great episode. We're just about at our 1 hour mark. Chris, do you want to ask them?
Yeah. I'm gonna hit you guys both with a question here, man. We ask every guest that comes on this specific question. I guess Travis, I'll start with you first, man. So being a successful entrepreneur / leader, person in our industry, you know, what motivates you to not only, you know, suit up and show up every day, but put your best foot forward and perform at a high level and be the innovator that you're being in the industry. You know, what is that motivating factor?
Man, everyone knows, you know, the easy answer is money, right? At the end of the day, it's like money. But you know, that's not it. So it's really about my people in our team. And, you know, when I came on and I was given the opportunity to learn from such great people, you know, the way that I did and be able to launch my career and where I'm at today, it's all about my people and making sure that people that work for us here at this company are successful as well, you know, and that they have their opportunities to grow as well. So, you know, I do anything for the people that work with me and my employees, you know, that are here, and they know that, you know, no matter what it is, you know, that needs to get done, I'm there to help them every single day. So, and at the end of the day, like, my goal is that when this is all said and done, at some point in time, 5-10 years from now, I can look back and say, wow, I had my stamp on the industry. We were able to change the industry. We came from, you know, sitting in one small conference room, you know, 10 years ago to now look what it is today. And, you know, it's kind of like I have the day-to-day thing, you know, where I get up and it's like, hey, look, you know, my people that work for me, I don't want to let them down. I want them all to succeed. But then at the overall picture is, at the end of the day, I want to say, wow, we were able to leave, you know, a mark on their industry and make our industry better, you know, for what we did. And that's really, you know, what it's about. That's what motivates me.
Awesome. So it seems like, you know, the team, the success of the team, and legacy seems to be what your motivation is. What about you, Mike?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I don't know that it's too much of a secret, but I actually graduated college with a Christian education degree, and I was a youth pastor early on. And so my faith is a big part of my life, and living the purpose that God gave me and with the talents that he gave me. Just that, to me, that is the motivation that probably is almost destructive. It sounds weird, but it has taken me to where I've taken that to extents where I've almost torched my relationships with my wife and my kids. I have been married for 25 years. I've got 5 kids, from 22 down to 6. And, they are my purpose as far as being a provider and a husband and a father. But, kind of what Travis was saying too, having a legacy, to not squandering what God has given me is the motivation that I have. That, man, I mean, I don't have a low gear. It's 100 miles an hour, or it's, 6 feet under. I'm dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's a good answer, man. I like that.
Yeah, me
I like
too.
that. Finding your purpose, man, because I feel like everyone on this earth has a purpose, or has something that the highest ranking thing that they can offer back to society. And finding that thing and being happy doing that, because usually those two things go hand in hand. When you find that thing that's like, this is what I'm here for, you know what I mean? Like that's cool once you find that. It seems like you found that, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good stuff.
Yeah, very good answers, man.
Yeah.
And I can relate to a lot of both of what you guys said. And Travis, of course, the money's good too, bud.
Yeah. Usually, honestly, man, what we've learned over time, and you'll agree with this, man. I know you will. What we've learned over 150 episodes of talking to, some of the top people in our industry around the country. If you do good shit and you're a good fucking human being, money comes with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're doing your purpose and you're doing the things for the right reasons, that kind of stuff just kind of all falls in place. You know what I mean? You don't really have to
Totally
focus
agree.
on that.
Totally agree.
Yep. Impact, legacy, all that good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff, fellas. Well,
Awesome.
It's been a great episode. We are right at our 1 hour mark in 46 seconds.
Yeah.
Good
Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
This is the last episode before episode 150, man. We got 6 more episodes to do before we have our 3-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing.
Congratulations.
Awesome, guys. Congratulations, guys. That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you very much,
man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Great show.
We
Great
do it
show.
with guys like you wanting to come on and share your stories and stuff. So,
Yes.
and our beautiful guests, the TC Backer family, that still continuously every Wednesday takes time out of their days
Yeah, they do.
after working, 50, 60 hours a week. They still spend time away from their families watching us, motivating us to continue to do this and
Oh, yeah.
keeping this shit fun, man.
Yes, sir.
For real. Appreciate all you guys. We see you guys out there constantly in here. If anyone has not done so already, you guys already know what I'm going to say. Go to our YouTube page and subscribe, please. Behind the Tool Belt. Make sure you guys hop over there. Make sure you guys show Roofle some love too.
Yeah.
Go hop on their stuff. Give them some likes. You guys got a Facebook page, right?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We have a
Hop over
QR
there.
code right above our shoulder. Click on the
so
QR code and
screenshot
give it a try.
Yeah,
There you
screenshot
go.
that and give them some love, man.
Yep.
Show them some love.
Yeah, man.
What it's
See
about.
you guys at RoofCon.
Yep. Spread the love. We'll see you guys at RoofCon. Can't
We'll
wait
see
for it.
everyone next Wednesday. Episode 150. Everyone enjoy the rest of your week, man. Mike and Travis, thank you guys for your time.
Of course.
Catch everyone.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.